Hi Capricorn, welcome to your closer look reading for March. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. Knight of Swords. Okay, that could be Aquarius. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it may resonate in other areas of your life. Also, this might be yours or your person's moon, rising, or Venus sign. Alright, what are we looking at here for a closer month for Capricorn for March? What is going on and why? Okay, Capricorn. Alright, hold on, let me fix my glasses. There we go. I want that blue light, you know. Six of Swords. Alright, we have that Knight of Swords. What does that have to do with it? Page of Cups, Six of Wands, yay, Eight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, so 2 6s and 2 8s, 6, 7, 8, interesting, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, wow, okay, alright, so, let me get the little guys here. Okay, so what's this? All right. Is there, okay, just now hear me out. When I say backsliding, I don't mean like in a bad way, like, oh, what, you know, but water, getting water. But what, has there been some kind of like renegotiation on something, or I don't know, let's go further here. It feels like there's some okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, so you're kind of revisiting. You know what it feels like? It feels like when things were, you know, when there's like a really happy time and things just worked and it was fluid. There's either a desire to return to that with somebody, or that's where you're at now. So I don't know if there's like a returning to a situation on an upswing, or if you're just on an upswing in general. There's no return to anything. Just life is really working right now. What's this Page of Cups for Capricorn? This Page of Cups, Capricorn. Queen of Swords, that could be Libra. So has there been like discussions about what you want, or are you deciding that because you've been set free, because you're moving on? You're just like, I need to give something a little distance and a break right now. What's this Six of Wands? Pardon me. There's some frustration, and it's like awareness or realizing. There's been a realization and some frustration over things. So some time apart to figure out what your next move is or what you want. It's a Six of Wands. You're in a space right now to be able to create, though. So, let's see. Alright. It's this Eight of Swords. So we got two of Wands there. Two of Wands. What's this Eight of Swords? The Devil. Okay. It's Capricorn. What's this Eight of Pentacles? Nice. Okay. 10 of Cups. Good for you. It's a 7 of Pentacles here. 7 Oh, yay. Glad for that. Queen of Cups. Hold on a minute. Nine of Swords. It was time. That's why. Alright. Here's the thing, Capricorn. If you're wondering why this has happened, or if we just want to take a closer look at your situation, for the Capricorns I'm reading for, it was time because you're realizing that this is never going to change with the, not never. It hasn't changed, and you're feeling more and more lately that it might not. And you've got to start looking after yours and your own, or you want to start looking after yours and your own. You've got a money cycle coming in, and you're wanting to take advantage of that. And you're starting to think that while there's a love for this person, if they can't meet you, if they can't change, or if there's always going to be that possibility of them backsliding or extended issues or whatnot that's going to take away from you to being able to progress. I'm not talking about somebody having a bad day. I'm talking about something that kind of gets in the way of, like, is directly related to you two being able to move forward and be an absolute unit. So this is somebody that can't promise you that, and you know it, and they feel like they don't know what to do about that, and you don't really have, you're sympathetic, but you can't sacrifice, and you know this, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Your position on this, what's showing here, is that you can't waste any more time being forgiving, cutting them slack, and moving forward, and you've got money coming in. And I think either you know that or you don't know that yet, but maybe intuitively you know this because you're sort of focusing and shifting your focus to that right now. Money coming in, what's best for your future, what you want to create. You got some decisions you're going to be making. You're basically like, look, I need to think about myself and my future logically. And you know, let's be honest, for some of you, you'll be like, I'll always be here, but the dust needs to settle for you. I can't keep doing this. So until then, I have got to do me, and I've got to move forward. I love you. I do. But, you know what I mean? Some people say when you say that but, it negates what you just said. But in this situation, it applies. So maybe it's, I love you and I need to move forward. I love you and I have to do what's best for me. You know? Because it's true. You do. And it's time. It was time for you to confront this. If you haven't, you're going to. Because you just can't. So you're going to be abiding both. You're going to be abiding this need, and knowing that it is simply time for you to put this over here, and your life gets to be here. Instead of this being here and your life being over here, and you trying to really attend to this and get it up to speed so that you two can be... Nope. Your focus has shifted. It's reversed now. And your person... would like you to know, I think your person, what's showing here is that your person's wanting you to know that they are trying, they're looking for ways, they're considering all options, they're trying to, but I don't think they get that that's what the issue is that the whole, well, I'm trying, that's not noble or virtuous. At some point, that saying, well, I'm trying, has the exact opposite effect that you would think it would have if someone says, I'm trying. Oh, good for them, they're trying. No, it gets old when that's the whole state of the relationship is, well, we're trying to, when are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, when are we just going to be? When are we? Us. And I think that's what the issue is that this person is in a constant state of, and you're like, I don't want to be trying anymore. I don't want to be waiting. I don't want that. Ugh. And it's not that you are unsympathetic. but you simply need to put your life at the focal point at this point. It is simply time. And it's about you. It's basically, it's come down to you needing to decide what is best for your future. And you do have money coming in. You've got, don't be surprised if there are job offers within the next 4 months. By August, it looks like at least one new job offer. That's interesting because that didn't come up before. So it's that alone, you're just like, well, I'm not going to turn down that. I'm not going to put that on hold. I've got to look out for myself and my future and do what's best in my best interest. And it's just time. It's time. This is about you shifting your focus and priorities for your future, your good, your best interest, your emotional well-being, being able to return to that state of whimsy and like excitement and you know, just that the beginning and getting that joy back and getting that reprieve and that whimsy and that kind of daydreaming and just like where things are a little bit easier, a little bit more fun, a little bit more calm. There's not this waiting and disappointment. There's this kind of wondering and a return to figuring out what you want. It's intuitively led to, don't be surprised. We've got your intuition kicking in here pretty strong. And that guiding your outlook here or wanting to kind of course correct where you've been on. Because there's depletion and there's kind of being tired. And so you need to return to that joyful state. And this is you kind of maneuvering, using your intuition to help weigh in on decisions of how to get that back, of how to land there again, about how to be back in that state of, you know, I'm over here working and doing what makes me happy. And at the end of the day, I feel good. I feel playful. I feel light. I feel like I can daydream about romance. I feel like it doesn't hurt to think about romance. It doesn't hurt to be without that anymore. Like that's what this feels like. It feels like you're course correcting. It is simply time. And you're doing it, this is, what's nice is that you're doing it not in the aftermath of some kind of trauma or drama. You've cut that off at the past and you're just like, you know what, before it gets to that point, I don't want any drama or trauma, and I don't want you to hate me, and I don't want to hate you. But I do need to kind of stop it right here. I don't want to have any regrets. So I'm going to course correct. I know you're trying, but it's coming to the point where that's just not enough anymore, and I can't wait. I don't want to wait. And it's as simple as that. And this needs to be said. And it's gone on long enough to where you need to withdraw and not really participate anymore in this dynamic with this person. It hasn't changed. For the Capricorns I'm reading for, I don't know how long it's been going on, but this is somebody that they might be doing their level best, but it's not making much of an impact or where it would need to be for you two to be what you want it to be. And it's time. This is not your first go around with this issue with this person. So they could have designs on wanting to do that and, you know, all these ideas, but it has to happen. They can't just be like, well, I'm trying and I'm going to work this out. I'm going to do this and that. Call me when it does. Call me when it is or when it was or did, whatever. But I don't want to be a part of the process anymore. I don't want to be your cheerleader. I got my own things I need to cheerlead. I want a cheerleader. So, this is you pulling way back and starting, And there's also, let's just be honest, there's also, because of your pulling back and minimizing your involvement and kind of returning to that place of like just wanting to be able to appreciate the little things again in your life, not be so stressed and harried and rushing. With that lightening of the load comes this learning curve, or like this getting some perspective and understanding and learning and understanding the dynamic that you two have going on. And you're kind of, for the Capricorns that I'm reading for, you are kind of the emotional support. You're kind of the one that, you're kind of the rock. And your person's the one that's kind of been running around and had so many things going on, and chicken with their head cut off and this, that, and the other. And you're like, no, I can't do that for very long. Like my energy and resources are best spent like when that's an appreciated thing, not when it's just like kind of thrown into this pit, never to be seen again. Like you don't get it back is what I'm trying to say. It's not reciprocated. You're not being resourced as you're resourcing. It's not communal. So this is a depletion of your resources also, which is why you're needing to pull back. And with that, you're starting to understand the dynamic, which is this is kind of one-sided, not because a person is bad or a jerk, but because their life is such that everybody who is in their life is basically in support of them either surviving something, healing, dealing with someone. And so it's not that there's not a love here, but you just can't be a part of that right now. It has asked too much of you up until this point. And I feel like I'm repeating myself here because that sounds familiar to me. Okay. I like that there's been this shift in this focus and this pullback of you course correcting before it's too late, before there's acrimony and, what else for Capricorn? It's like you're shelving something. That's for Capricorn. You just don't know what to do. Can't help that. Can't fix it. 8 of Pentacles. See, there's that money coming in, Capricorn. You want to be ready for that. You want to be able to go, yes, please, more, thank you. Yes, that's okay. Right. And this is also a shift. This helps you process this. This helps you kind of figure this out and put it into perspective and move through how you're feeling rather than be stagnated by it and just be stuck and avoid it, because it'll circle back around again if you do that. That's always fun. So this gives you an outlet. What you're going to be delving into that's going to the money's coming in, it gives you an outlet. And it's time to be able to focus on this too. You put this off. You've kind of not compromised it, but you kind of low prioritized it, and it needs to be a priority again, because that's going to be a good outlet for you, and it's going to be gratifying. Money looks good. What else for Capricorn? This could also be representative of this person that, healing or working through their issues or whatever, that they're close to completion, but they are working on it, and it's a work in progress, and it's solitary work, just as yours should be. So that's for Capricorn. Sleep. Let's shelve this. Pull back, rest, renew. This gets to you get to hibernate a little bit here. There needs to be this distance where you can rest and resource and renew. Could also be sleep on it, like, give this some more thought, which you're already doing. you've been thinking about this. You're coming to some conclusions. So this is you giving it a rest. Giving it a rest. Capricorn, as you should. Ooh, 3 came out. Well, okay then. That's loud. Alright, so we've got 7 of Swords reversed. Yay. We've got 3 of Swords, and we've got the Empress reversed. All of these reversed. So, okay, so we're not, I think this is you breaking free of something that has been quite challenging for a while. You're literally setting it down and gonna give some thinking time on it. This could be allowing time to heal, giving your person time to heal and to process, you taking the time to process. Codependent situation could be very one-sided or very just one of those things where all this effort goes to no fruition. Like nothing comes of all this effort. It's very disappointing, and it serves to drive a wedge between you and your person rather than nurture the connection. And so we've got quite literally tapping out, like just, okay, giving this a rest and seeing things clearly, not being waylaid by the heartache and the sadness, coming out of the heartache and sadness, seeing it for what it is, being realistic about it, releasing, being optimistic and forgiving. So this is you coming to terms with how everything is, understanding the dynamic and having it in perspective, and taking that time to pull back so that you can figure things out and redirect your energy to where it's much more stabilizing and profitable for you for right now. And it does get to be your choice. It could be for permanent or it could be for right now. Either way, you get to be back in the driver's seat because you're taking a break, a much needed break. And it's very good that you do so because you've got a money cycle coming in. So yay. Okay. All right, Capricorn, I hope this was helpful. If you're wondering what was going on, there's been a shift, and it's you taking back control and not wanting to be a part of that dynamic anymore, as you shouldn't. It's costing you too much. Money's coming in. So yay for that. Okay, I hope to see you in the next reading. Keep your head up. Thank you for coming by, and much love and support to you for this March. Okay, you take care.